All right, I was just in here the other night and they were loaded in here, so I'm pretty hopeful that we're going to find the same deal, but I'm not really sure. Looks a lot different right now. The water has dropped several inches just since I was last in here 2 days ago. So I'm a little worried that they might have left this area. If they did, I probably already drove over top of them as we speak. Gosh, that's crazy. I mean, I was tripping all over them last time I was in here. I couldn't make a cast without getting bit. There we go. They are still there. Just had to throw it in the right spot. Not big though. Throwing a Strike King Z2 on a jig head. Pretty popular bait right now across the country. And the river fish like it too. If I can get another one. Yep, they're there. They got smaller though. The ones here the other day were big ones. Now this one might be all right. There's a lot of 3-pounders on this spot. Yeah, he's not. It's not that big. 2.5. Hard fighters. I'll tell you that. All right. There's a bass. King Z2. So one of the things about the Z2, we got that Elastec plastic. That's really helpful. I supered this bait on the jig head when I got out here today. I've caught probably 10 fish on it, and it's still going strong. Oh, and the fell out. Yeah, they definitely downgraded in size a little bit on this hole. So all I'm fishing here, I mean, we got a shallow grassy weed island right here. And then there's a little channel that comes down, and there's just a little bitty depression up there. There's a little mini sand drop, some grass clumps that are isolated off of the main grass body, and these smallmouth are just kind of hanging out in these grass clumps on this shallow sand flat in that little depression there. They're just ambushing shad or whatever else. I'm still figuring out what's going on out here. I haven't had a lot of time on the river in the last few weeks. I haven't seen a lot of shad, but I know that they're out here. Because a lot of shad survived the winter. So I suspect that there's probably some shad around, but I haven't seen them with my eyes. I haven't had any fish cough them up or anything like that. But most likely that's what these fish are relating to, along with perch. And the river's just full of all kinds of bait fish. So it could be a number of different things. Holy, I thought I got bit as soon as I hit the water. I think I just landed right on a piece of grass. Maybe that was a fish. He pulled my bait down. My super glue let go, so I might have to put a little more on there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put more super glue on there. It's sliding down when I cast it. Alright, let's put some super glue on there. Let it dry for a minute. Maybe I'll throw a top water while it lets dry. He missed it. That one got it. Gosh, he came unglued on it. I'm gonna end up with two on here pretty quick, I bet. He's a jumper. Come on, don't do that stuff. I hate smallies on top water. They like to come off. That one's got some cool colors on it. Pretty looking smallie. Fun time. Oh my gosh. He has all kinds of hooks in it. Yeah, I just wanted to check this place. I had a lot of fun over here the other night. I caught like 15 fish, and probably 5 of them were over 3 pounds. So clearly, we're still searching for our first 3 pound bite. So it's definitely not. But that's the kind of thing you're going to encounter when you're dealing with changing conditions on the Mississippi River. River's falling really rapidly right now. So where you find a group of big ones one day, they might be gone the next. It's going to fall like 3 more feet in the next week. So that's going to really change everything out here. They are really in a tight little spot. If you're outside of that spot, there ain't any love. God. God. All right, super glue should be dry. Ah. Oh, oh my gosh! One just followed it all the way into the boat, torpedoing at it, and if I would have paid attention. Of course, there's grass on my bait, so he probably would have got off of it anyway. Huh? I don't know, man. Ain't as good. Not as good as it was. It's another little sand drop up here. I actually caught my biggest fish of the day the other day off of it, so I'm gonna give that a quick try. Pretty beautiful sunset going on over there. Let's see if I can boat so you can see that. I don't know if you're even gonna be able to see it on the screen. That's a good indicator that it's almost time for me to go home. All right, we're gonna move back into that little zone where the main school's at. This jig head minnow was working so good the other night, but the water's dropped on this place. It's there's a little more grass than I'd like to see. Kind of top, some of it's topped out, makes it hard to throw that jig head. All that stuff had water going over it just the other day, and I was able to kind of keep the bait above the grass, and now I'm getting hung up in it. So we're going to switch up to a Carolina rig, something that'll actually kind of snake through that grass a little bit. See if we can get a couple more fish in the boat. And we'll wrap this thing up and I'll go home. Gotta work tomorrow. Not fun. Just heard one blow up over there. That one's tapping at it. He's got it. There he is. Carolina rig works. You'll notice I gave him a pretty good amount of time before I set the hook. That's the key with the Carolina rig. There's kind of a magical zone though, because clearly I probably gave this one a little long. He's kind of gagging on it right now, but bleeding a little bit. So that, maybe a little long on that one, but principle is the same. You want to let them kind of take that bait. A lot of times they'll pick it up and drop it. So you want to make sure that fish is actually moving off with the bait. Because if you set the hook after the fish has dropped it, for one, you're liable to follow your bait. And two, a lot of times that fish is going to come back and bite it again. You set the hook and he doesn't have it, you're really kind of ruining your chances of getting that fish. I'm tapping at it again right here. See, he dropped it. It's kind of a weird. I don't really like where I'm sitting to try to fish this bait because I'm dragging cross current right now, which isn't ideal, but man, I kind of thought this was going to be game over when I threw that in there and got one first cast. Now there's a little bit of shell in there. That's probably part of what's holding them there too. Not much, but there is a little bit of shell right there. One just tapped it. Oh, one's got it. Oh, it's a big one. No, it's not. Not very big. Gosh. I think when he first tapped it, he had it that whole time. This freaking thing gagged on it too. Gosh dang it. Oh my god. So I know that looked pretty severe what I was just doing with that fish, but sometimes the best way to get a deep hook out is to go in through the gills so you can get leverage on that hook. And he did bleed a little bit, but I'm confident I was able to get him back fast enough. He'll be able to recover from that. So I think what happened there is that fish picked it up, and then he swam at me. So the whole time I'm dragging, and it feels like there's nothing there. There's another one. That one didn't have it for so long, so hopefully we didn't gut this one. Anyway, it's dragging, and that fish is coming towards me. And he finally turns his head, and that's when I recognized that I had a bite. Well, the whole time he had it. Yeah, this one got it right in the top of the lip. So, the keeper, not big. I haven't done a lot of largemouth fishing yet since I've been home from St. Clair. But it's apparent the smallmouth are biting. That might be about the end there. There's a pretty impressive thunderhead forming behind us. Kind of thought it was moving away from us, but it really, honestly, hasn't moved in hours. It's pretty stationary. All it's really done is grown. I mean, it's pretty impressive to see. It's massive. I've seen some lightning up in the clouds too, which is pretty cool. Yeah, seems like that's all she wrote. Little bastards. I'm definitely glad I came back in here tonight because I got a tournament next weekend, and normally when I find a group of fish, I don't really go back to them, but I wanted to have some fun and maybe make a little video tonight, so I thought I'd come here and just pound on them a little bit. There was nice fish here, but they weren't fish that I'm going to win with next weekend, so I figured let's go use them up for a video. And clearly they've changed a lot, and that's good. That's just two. They've changed massively. They got a lot smaller. There's no big ones in this group anymore. It doesn't seem that way. And it's just good for the brain to kind of see that. Oh my gosh. Bastard. But yeah, when you can see that your fish are moving, it helps you comprehend the system in general, understand what's happening. I suspect that the bigger fish have scooted out further out of this area. And there's another little corner that they go to. I'm literally only 75 yards from it right now, and we drove over it to get to where we're at. So I suspect they might have slid that way a little bit. and they'll continue to slide as the water keeps dropping. Eventually, a lot of these fish are going to disperse out onto the grass flats and roaming. You know, they'll roam weed lines all summer long. They get in clean water and roam and eat bait fish, perch, crayfish, bugs. But I think a lot of these fish, when the water was super high, they were tucked up tight into these deltas, you know, around a lot of the islands and stuff that block the heavy current. And now that the water's receded, now they're coming down and getting on the sand drops, and they'll just kind of keep following, getting to another little bit deeper sand drop as that water drops. And eventually, some fish will just get out to the main channel too. There's going to be a lot of fish on the main channel in the next couple weeks. There's a bite. Does he still have it? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe he does. He does. Please don't have it gutted. Don't want to kill fish. But they're biting it super weird, and I can't tell if they're dropping. Yeah, he's freaking got it gutted. I gotta stop throwing this bait. Or I gotta start setting the hook on the first tick. Gosh. Oh, man. All right, one more bass, and then let's go home. I say that, and it'll be one more bass on camera, but you're crazy if you think I'm not going to stop on my way back to the landing. That's how it goes. I'll something that I like on my way back, and I'll stop and fish. Help it. God, so much crap floating in the water right now. There we go. Gosh. There it is. Last bass of the night on video. Other dink. Didn't hook this one deep, thankfully. And there you have it. Summertime smallmouth, as advertised. Sorry I didn't get any big ones, but it was fun. A little school in session video. And maybe you picked up a couple things from this video. If so, drop me a note. I do have St. Clair videos coming shortly. Been a little behind since I got back to town. Spending time with the girlfriend, having some fires, and seeing some family. My sisters are in town. So got a lot of stuff going on, but we'll get those videos out soon, and we'll keep putting out live videos when I have a chance and I'm on some fish. So yeah, all's well. All's well. See you guys soon. What weight head? That is a 3/16 head, Rich, that I'm using on the mid stuff. I'll go down to an 1/8 ounce sometimes too, but 3/16 is kind of the go-to deal. So, all right, guys, we'll see you later. I'm gonna enjoy the sunset ride back to the ramp. Later.